Welcome to the Just Talk to Me Bro podcast.
Who does this guy even think he is? What are you, chewing rocks? Just talk to me, bro.
Starring your host, Dante Dario. Dante Dario.
And welcome back to episode 7 of the Just Talk to Me Bro podcast. And today we got Jay Bird, as we always do. What's going on, Jay?
How you doing?
He's my co-host.
Thank you.
And we got a new person in town. This guy just joined the room. Mr. Marcotte, everybody.
What's going on, everybody?
What's up, bro?
What's going on, brother?
Dude, welcome to the couch, man.
Thank you. It's been
good
a
to
long
have
time
you.
coming. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, I know we've been trying to get you on, and like we haven't done an episode in a little bit.
Yeah, it's been like a week.
Yeah.
You know what? Things in life.
Life happens.
All right. You know how my situation was? I got a little bit sick. I got anxiety. It was anxiety. I thought I actually got sick.
I was trying to tell you it was anxiety, but when you're in it, it's so hard to see it, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
And it's funny because we talked about that on like a previous episode where we have anxiety problems. We didn't realize it, and it was just manifesting in its own way. And I think I did too much. I collided with too many responsibilities all at once, and then just it overtook me and ended up having like irregular heartbeats and stuff.
The brain's so powerful.
It is.
Dude, suggestive thinking. What was it where people have thought they had cancer and they just keep thinking that and they eventually get cancer? That's wild.
Yeah, sure. I don't know if we talked about this in the podcast before, but have you heard about the nocebo? Yeah, I think I already mentioned.
Yeah,
that.
nocebo.
Yeah. Same thing.
It's the exact same thing.
When you guys were talking about anxiety last time, and I was like, okay, I don't want to make another episode just about anxiety, right? But you guys made a good point. It does need to be talked about. But at the same time, it's like, I have suffered for 10 years now.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, like, what do you do to get through it? So, have you seen the movie Zombieland?
Yeah, years ago.
Yeah, it's been a
You've
while.
seen it? Do
Maybe not enough to get a reference from
Do you
it.
remember the rules?
No.
Remember he has the rules?
Tell us.
There's rules, yeah.
So like rule 1 was like double tap, and then he goes on.
Yeah.
travel light.
You're ringing a bell. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
rule number 32.
He knows
Ring a
this
bell?
real good.
Yeah, no, dude. I know the rules up to 32, man.
There's a lot of rules, but
Holy shit.
rule 32 was it's the little things, and that has resonated in my mind for like day-to-day life.
Yeah.
Something, and it doesn't need to be like you're having a bad day, just something that makes life better.
Right.
So I wasn't sure if either one of you had something that was a little thing that you do to brighten up your day, or if you're going through something shit. But I had something I was going to tell you guys.
Okay. That's good. I like it.
So I've been with the wife now 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah, long 3 years.
Congratulations.
Feels like 10. Yeah, thank you. So when we first met, we're down Cherry Hill, going fishing or hiking, one of the two. That's back when I had the Mercedes when I was balling.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
He used to come to my bar all the time.
Yeah, he's like, who's this guy with the Mercedes?
Who's
Oh, I knew
I want
exactly who he is. He has a Ricochet tattooed guy.
That is true.
Literally.
That is true.
Yeah.
I mean,
For those who don't
He's
know,
the only guy I
bar
know
owner-
that has actually tattooed my business on his body.
but that bar will be a part of my life forever. It was one of the most important segments of my life.
You
that's
should
how I
be
met
crying
you too.
right now.
That's how I met you too.
I am
now.
on the inside.
Yeah. But anyway, so the story goes, I just met her. I had the Mercedes. We go down fishing, hiking, whatever. Beautiful day. We just smoked one. We're both baked out of our fucking trees. And I'm like, you know what? Whatever. I'm going to let her drive the Mercedes.
Oh, no.
Let her feel good.
No.
Let her drive the Mercedes. So we're cruising back from the house. Nothing bad happened. Or back to the house. Nothing bad happened. I had a great day. Windows are down. The sun's coming down. The music's blaring. I'm like, man, this is great. And we pull up to a light, like 3 lights down from her apartment. We stop. And I look over to the side. There's this woman, and she's looking in the window of the shop. She's got her baby in the stroller. The baby's just looking at me. I look at Kendra. She's driving. She's listening to the tunes. I look around. There's no cars. No one else. No one else around. This wasn't premeditated. But I look over, and this baby's still looking at me, and the mom's not looking, and no one else is looking at me. And I know it's like, what did you have planned here? What happened to this baby? Dude, I looked over. Dude, I flipped this baby off. Like, straight up. I flipped this baby off. Like, straight up.
I was wondering where the story was going.
Like, what, did you kidnap this baby? No, dude, I flipped this baby off. And, like, just a little innocent Asian baby, just to give you the details
now
of the
it's
story.
Asian.
Yeah, just to give you the details, right? No one's around. And I flipped and I fucking laughed the whole fucking way home. And then she's
I'm
like,
fucking laughing right now.
she's like,
I'm crying, dude.
what was so funny? Did I do something? What are you laughing at? I told her, dude, she's in tears all the way back to her house. She's like, why? I'm like, I don't know, but I feel fucking great.
And the way he set up that story too, it was like the little things. You think he's gonna say something really sentimental?
I literally thought it was gonna be like, you know, like a quote I could put in a book or something.
Yeah, me too.
I
No,
just
dude,
told the
flipped
baby
off a
to
baby,
fuck
dude,
off.
a fucking baby.
Like just a little glimmer of sunlight in the baby's eye, and I just felt at peace in my heart.
Oh,
I'm
God.
And I literally just looked over. And I'm like on my phone. I look over. And I'm like,
Dude,
I would say morally, that's actually totally acceptable as well, because the baby would not know what that means.
and I got back to our apartment. I'm like, man, I haven't fucking laughed that hard in time. Like, I feel great.
dude,
That's
I'm tearing
true.
up, man.
And you know what? And the best part was there was no one around. Like, dude, that guy flipped off a baby. The mom wasn't looking. There was no
What
cars.
did the
I got
baby
away
do?
with this shit, right? Like I
Those
got away
random
with
things
shit.
that where the stars align and you laugh so hard. Those moments, in my life, are few and far between.
You
but
need that,
you're right,
dude.
Brandon. It feels so good. It's like a endorphin release. It's so natural,
For
right?
sure. But
Dude,
how
that
many
was my
opportunities-
moment right there.
How many
You're good for the
times
week then.
in
Dude,
life
I'm
do
good.
you get where you can flip off a fucking baby and no one can see you doing it? And you get away with it.
Every time you
Dude,
say
once,
it, dude.
one time, that's it.
Oh God! Every time you say it, it just gets me off. Like I don't get
Me off? What the hell?
It throws me off.
What the hell are you talking
It
about?
throws me
Dude,
off.
now
it throws me
now
off.
we're going down a slippery
It
slope
throws
here.
me off. Oh God. I was expecting like, oh, I saw a baby, and I was hoping to have one of those myself, and I was gonna be like, I waved him, and I thought about it all.
He
day.
had me on
there
the
yet.
he had me on the line, man.
Dude, and all of a sudden, I just told fuck you.
That's what I do, man. That's what I do.
That's hilarious.
But yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, that
I
was-
wasn't sure
that
if
was
you guys
good.
had any little things that you do, but that was one of my moments. I remember.
Dude, I don't
and
have
it
moments
is-
like that.
So you tying this back to anxiety? Does this help with anxiety?
It did, because you know what? I didn't feel like I didn't have a bad day, but I felt like a little on edge. And after that happened, and I laughed to the point where, like, dude, I felt like I didn't have workout. I laughed
Yeah.
so hard, I felt fucking great when I got back to the apartment.
I
Like,
might
no
try
one-
that.
No,
I might try it.
but make sure no one's looking.
Okay.
You know
yeah.
who would go in line with you? What you do? My wife. Because
How so? How so?
we polished the floors upstairs in my living room because
Right.
they were like shit, and
Right.
I went through hell trying to figure out why this floor was all cloudy and like gross, right? So she
He was like
polishes.
texting me for days.
Yeah, my OCD
Being like,
was
bro, what
through
do you
the
think
roof.
this is? He's like scraping it with his nail. He's taking like his like micro lens,
Yeah,
zoom
dude.
in on it,
Yeah.
being like, what do you think? What is this dirt or
I was
wax or-
I was losing my mind, and like the floor got to a point where it was so clean, it wasn't slippery. It was like an ice rink, dude. And my kid
God, you have problems, dude.
runs
Major
down
fucking issues.
runs down the stairs, does one of the 1 foot slide, right back, paw,
No.
hits the back of her head, right? I immediately go into dad mode and go, are you okay? And I look at my wife. She's really quiet. She's quiet because she's dying of laughter. That made her day. You know?
Yeah, that
and it's
sounds like
like, and she
something I
tells
would
me,
do.
oh, I just laugh
But
when
like
my
Brayden
kids
said,
fall,
it's
you know?
the little things, right?
It's a little thing.
It's the little things.
It is a little thing.
My kid bust her head
You
open.
can't hit your kids, but if they hit themselves, you can laugh at it.
It was pretty funny, but after it was all said and done, the kid laughs too because she's like bipolar like that. Weren't you just in pain? And she's like, and she like f's off.
That's a thing though with kids, though. I've noticed.
Yeah.
When they fall down and you make and you do that big thing, that's when they start crying.
Yeah.
If you start laughing, they just get up and walk.
That's why I was go like,
Yeah.
I pause and I wait. Did it hurt you?
And you
Yeah,
went,
it's a
Okay.
level of pain. It's a level of pain. If you react like that, they'll cry pretty much all the time. And then if they're really hurt, they will
Yeah.
cry.
Yeah.
That's why I was going like,
Regardless.
wait. Okay, there's the cry. Okay, I got
Oh my God. I was at my buddy Stevie J's house this one night.
Stevie J.
Oh man.
What a name, Stevie
He's a
J.
beauty.
How'd
This
you
guy
how do you
like
get that name?
Wow.
it's his name's Steve Johnson. Just
Stevie J.
Stevie
Stevie J,
J.
that's-
He's a bro too. He should actually come on. This guy is
Welcome to the Stevie J podcast.
This guy has a major in history.
Imagine.
He's a probation parole officer. Super interesting guy. But he got me into Jack Daniels and Guinness. Back then, I didn't like any dark beer. And I used to swear because he was a wannabe cowboy. And I was like, you just drink that because you want the image. And I didn't believe that he actually liked Guinness. Anyway, I've since came to appreciate it. But about the crying baby, you guys just reminded me about this. It's like, I don't know what time it was, 10 o'clock. He had a couple people at his house and there was kids running around and dogs. Everybody had a kid. Everybody had a dog. We were like in the country.
Yeah.
And this little girl, she had a little bit of a speech impediment. She's like, well, I'll do the impression of what she said anyway, because I can't talk like her all the time. But She's like, oh, can I give the dog a treat? And we're like, yeah. We're just drinking booze over here. Like, go ahead. There's like dog treats in that bowl. This little girl's like 2.5 feet tall, blonde hair, blue eyes, cutest little thing, right? She's like, I'm going to give the dogs a treat. And then she like walks over and she's standing on top of the stairs to go to the basement. And both dogs are like pretty big dogs, you know, like 60, 80 pound dogs. They go running at her and they knock her down the stairs. Jeez. And the only way I could describe it would be like a bowling ball falling down the stairs. We got up and like Steve and I were the first ones down there. Like we sailed down the stairs. She hit every stair. She was doing flips. Boom, 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 boom. Steve just grabs her and like picks her up, and the pain hadn't even set in yet. So he just like picked her up, and I'm standing right behind him, and he looked at her. He's like, sweetie, tell me where it hurts. She's like, everywhere.
Poor kid,
and then we looked at each other. We're like, sweetie, we probably does hurt everywhere. That looked brutal. But anyway,
that's hilarious.
Everyone has these kid moments.
Yeah, that time, no matter how you react, that kid was crying because man, she bounced her head off the couple of those risers.
Kids are soft though, like their muscles and bones and.
I was trying to imagine myself go down there. I was like,
oh man. Now it's
they probably drive truck around you at the bar.
Oh yeah, man!
Take you out in a fucking.
I can't even get out of bed without like.
If you get out of bed too quick,
stretching an arm or something
for sure.
A muscle. I went into a shower.
I'm into taking like minerals now and like supplements.
For sure.
Do you guys do that?
Yeah, actually, just recently I've started. So I've gone back to the gym now and all that kind of stuff. And it's like any of the protein or any of that stuff. Actually, the big one for me because I'm a welder, right? So I'm constantly. You shouldn't do it, but when you're tack welding, I do it without a helmet. So you're just kind of
like, not good.
No, but I mean,
you close your eyes, right?
In the situation, it's like, okay, dude, I've got this piece perfectly where I want it. Do I want to go get my helmet and walk all the way over there and let it fall? You're like, no, fuck it. So you just kind of like do one of these.
Is this a MIG or an ARC?
It's MIG.
Yeah.
It's MIG. But it's like I come home some days and it's like from looking to the one side, your whole face is red and it's like sunburn.
Really?
So you start peeling, right? But I'm like, man, every time I go out anywhere, even to a store after work, it's like I look like an idiot. I just got flakes all over. It's like my wife's always like, oh, you need to start taking care of your skin. I'm like, dude, that's not what
my skin has iron in it.
Yeah, like I'm a 25
Iron Man.
That's not what we do. We don't take care of our skin. That's not what. Now I'm like,
I'm
dude,
a man.
Take care of your fucking skin. I'm telling
100%.
you. Yeah.
When I smoked in my 20s, I always
You smoked?
yeah, I did.
Wow.
That's why I'm always preaching on Dante about
Stop doing the
self-care.
toxic stuff, man.
Yeah.
Because I vape, right? So
he has an excuse for everything. He thinks the vape is like he's like, no, I watched a documentary and they feed like a rat, like they put a rat in a box and they pump it full of this smoke that he smokes out of that thing and they're fine. It's like no, it's not. They're not fine. You got to watch yourself because right now you feel invincible, you feel young, but you're gonna get 30, you're gonna get 40, you're gonna get 50.
I feel it. I'm not saying there's no effects from it. There's literally a poison.
Well, when he had anxiety, like this past week, he's like he has a lump in his throat, whatever. I'm like, well, first things first, quit smoking that.
I didn't vape that whole day.
Okay.
Only
I'm
today.
just looking out for you. That's all. But
I'm guilty for it too, though. And I look at those videos, I'm like, yeah, I'm safe. And then I start vaping. I'm like, man, I feel like shit.
Yep.
But
I smoked for years, and every cigarette there are people that I know that smoke that really, really like every cigarette they have. Every cigarette I had, it was just like, I knew I wasn't going to be a smoker for life. I enjoyed it. And then as soon as I was done, I was like, man, my mouth tastes gross. I feel unhealthy.
Your fingers,
for
dude.
sure.
My fingers. Actually, that's when I quit. I looked at my finger and they started
orange.
turning
That,
yellow,
like your clothes
and I quit cold
vehicles
turkey.
and, like,
Did you
all that
notice like
stuff
there's
smells.
little bumps too?
I didn't notice a bump. Smell myself.
I got
no.
bumps in them, man. It was gross.
Yeah.
No.
You wake up in the morning, your fingers near your nose, you're like, what is that? You know? It's
Yeah.
gross.
Yeah, you do all those things to your body, and the body's pretty resilient. It will rejuvenate, but you got to stop doing those things to give it a chance, right?
Dude, I take one a day, the vitamins.
Yep, that's good. Good for you.
Read the directions.
Is that like the adult Flintstones vitamins?
yeah. Gummies.
Is that what they are?
Gummies,
Does
yeah.
does it taste good?
My wife thinks they taste like garbage. I'm like, whatever. I don't even care about the taste. It's just as long as it's good.
Sound
for
like
me.
what's Rick Ross now? I eat pears. That's what you
Pears.
sound
Oh
like.
yeah. Rick Ross is doing some weird stuff,
yeah.
man.
Is he?
Oh yeah.
I don't know anything about this.
Anyway, this
Fill me
bottle
in.
says take 2 at the back, and it's one a day. That's the directions. Take 2.
That's like
Why?
That's like Dollarama.
what are those words where you say it like race car. You say it one way, and you can say it back or spell it one way and spell it backwards, and it's the same word. I forget what the term is. For this
Yeah.
word.
I do know what that is. People are probably like yelling at us right now.
yeah. We're gonna get that in the
Someone's
comments.
losing.
It's a soliloquy.
Yeah, I'm getting
No,
flamed.
100%.
100%.
This is a short on TikTok, and someone's gonna comment right there.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
But
Go
apparently the medication. So there's a phobia for those words. Believe it or not, there's a phobia for those.
There's
words.
a phobia for words.
There's a phobia for balloons. I believe it's
I
called
know.
globophobia.
Cotton.
Yeah, there's ridiculous ones, but that one where it's those words that are either way. I'm pretty sure the medication for that phobia is one of those fucking words.
Oh my god, this sounds like one of those like things they
That's
told.
not ironic, dude.
They told you like as a wives' tale or something. Is that true?
I don't know if it's true. I really hope it is.
You know what? He does that to me.
We need Jamie. We need Jamie.
We
like,
do. Jamie, pull that shit up because I need to know.
He does that to
that'd
me.
be
He'll
hilarious.
fact check me on the spot, and then later on, like 3 days later, I'll send him a link. He's like, "Yeah, I know you're right." Because it's ridiculous, right? Like the one thing I was telling him was going to casinos is a heart risk.
Yeah.
It is. And then he's like, "Oh, I believe you now."
Well, they pump oxygen and shit in there, don't
No,
they?
but it's like literally playing the act of constantly getting
It's
rewarded.
overstimulation.
You're damaging your heart.
Absolutely.
it's almost like you correct me, but is it like the fight or flight type? It's not fight or flight, but it's like the reward. It's the adrenaline.
You know when you buy something you really like, that happy feeling?
Yeah.
But constantly, all day, microseconds of...
Yeah, I did read the link you sent
So
me.
it's essentially a microtransaction of adrenaline.
Yeah.
But you get it it's a
often.
reward system from the body that is designed to happen now and then, but you're
getting
in
it
front of a gambling machine and it's
every
programmed to make you feel that way, so it does it over and over and over.
It does make sense.
And then it can increase your odds of, I'm sure, like mostly older people maybe that are already susceptible.
Yeah. So some gamblers, they have a risk of heart attack and stroke because...
Right.
Not the drinking or the smoking, but because they're constantly
I'm sure that
feeding.
doesn't help either, but...
No.
I wanted to ask you about your car. What ended up happening with it?
It was a valve. It was just a valve that controls the gas, the fumes from the gas.
And the car's brand new,
The
right?
car's brand new.
Do you think there's anything to... you always hear people talk about like, oh yeah, that car was a lemon. It was made on a Friday. You ever hear that?
Yeah.
About older car. I haven't heard that term since probably high school, but I'm familiar with it.
Volkswagens used to be back in the day where they were like the poster child of a lemon car. Volkswagens, because they would make them in Germany and then in Mexico.
Right.
So if it was Mexican version, car was garbage.
I believe Hitler invented the Volkswagen.
Yeah, he did.
Wasn't it the people's car?
It was the people's car.
Is that
Right.
what it was made for?
Volkswagen.
Volkswagen.
Started with the Beetle.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. And if you did correct me, you're a Nazi. But
If you know more
Yeah.
about Beatles than I do, you're
Yeah.
probably a Nazi.
you hear the guy in the back. Hey, I gotcha.
Going back
Damn Nazi.
what you were saying about fact checking, I used to love bartending. I hate bartending now, but I used to love it because the older guys that would sit around the bar, they had been going to the bar for the past 30 years and there was no such thing as Google. So they could just spew a bunch of bullshit. And like everybody would just be like, oh yeah. And they would just like say it as fact, right?
Yeah.
But I'd just be like sitting behind the bar with my cell phone, just like Googling everything they said. And I'm like, no. That's actually not true at all.
Would you say that it's not factual? That's great.
You know what? And I could see him going in and he'd be like, excuse me, you guys don't know me, but that's wrong.
See, I got a buddy like that too. Like it'd be like a hockey trade. I'm like, man, I think Fleury's gonna go to Minnesota, and he'll go, that's just not factual. That's just not factual.
That's just
and
not
it's like,
factual.
dude, give me a
Get
break.
out of here.
That's an opinion.
I'm reading an article right now on TSN that says it's a possibility. That's just not factual.
There's people like that. Or there's people where you're saying the facts and then they go, no. And then they add to it all the extra shit you didn't need to know about the fact.
Are those the professors
And
that
pretty
live on
much-
Facebook?
No, these are like...
Oh, it's a different species?
Way, like...
Different
They're
specimens?
annoying. Like, yeah, there's people
Right,
on Facebook
right.
that want attention and post
Right.
jokes in Marketplace.
Right.
Who does that? Okay, so, speaking of which, I left a laugh react on an ad, or like, I guess somebody was selling a truck, and
What kind of truck was it?
I don't even know. It was like a GMC or whatever. It was just
I think it was a Dodge.
Dodge. It could have been Dodge, whatever. And I left a laugh react on it. And then I think a month passes or something. I don't know. And this guy messages me out of the blue with a hit list. And he's like, well, all those that laugh and left the laugh emoji and can't afford this truck and shouldn't say anything if they shouldn't have to and blah, blah, blah. And then he writes like a bunch of people's names and
So
I'm in there.
Basically, he was selling a truck on Marketplace and
Right.
and a lot of people might have thought that he was selling it for too much money.
Yeah, because
he started getting like self-conscious about it.
Right. So then he's like, suckas, and then he attaches a picture of the bills, his deposit, and the certified check.
The cash he got, like he ended up getting what he was asking.
Yeah, and it's
man,
like
you sent me the
let's say I
screenshot
did
of that.
do
It was
that.
ridiculous.
Let's say I did, and I made fun of you. You went out of your way. I'm jealous. You have that much time in your day to go out of your way to message people.
This is like Schindler's List of trucks.
Yeah.
He was that salty.
You know what? I really got the vibe that it was like, to me, that is just dripping with insecurity.
Absolutely.
Huge.
It's like he lists it for something and he doesn't feel like he needs to validate that the price that he put on there was the proper price.
I cringed. Like I read it and I cringed.
I almost want to put money on the fact that he went in the shower after he...
Days, dude.
No.
More than
he
one
went in the
shower.
shower right after that. All those people are flaming him, and he's having conversation with the shampoo bottle. I'll sell this truck. I'll show them.
Oh no, he's talking to his wife too. He's going,
yeah.
Hey, Cindy, you wouldn't believe this. This guy just he put an emote on my ad. The prick. As soon as I sell this, I'm gonna show them all.
Show them all, dude.
I'm gonna take a picture of this bank
what was
draft.
he expecting? Like, okay, what's the end result here, sir? What did you want? Someone's gonna answer and go, "Man, you got me. I shouldn't have laughed. Next time, let's go out for a beer." Like, what are you doing? People are
But
weird,
it's just
man.
dumb people, right? Like we were
Chewing
talking about
rocks.
before.
Well, you guys were talking about like Marketplace now. It's like it's a toxic community a lot of the times,
Yeah.
right? And I was like, man, because you're into cars.
Yep.
Have you ever been in a car group on Facebook?
Oh, it's the worst.
Dude.
Everyone
Yeah, I'm
knows
in one.
something.
Oh my god!
I think we were
Everyone
talking
knows
about that.
You could post just like the picture of like, hey, I just bought this truck. I'm really proud of it. Dude, you are going to get fucking torn. Just ripped
But
through a
you
hedge
also
backwards.
deserve that.
Yeah.
If you post I have my little fucking toys and whatever, and
But you don't go posting about it.
no.
But
No,
like these
because
cars-
you know
do you see a
nobody's
car- do you
going to
see
be
my
like,
car?
"Oh, Braden, oh my God, that's such a beautiful truck.
Mind
oh
you, I
my,
post,
good
like,
for
a
you.
million
You
pictures
must
of
have
my
worked
truck."
so hard for
Right.
that truck."
But, like, I
no, they're
post-
going to be like, "Yo, you're fag, bro." Even though, because
100%.
Yeah.
there's a bunch of trolls online, right? There's
I
nothing
post
really
pictures of
positive
my
out
truck
there.
for me because I like my truck. If you, I don't give a fuck if you comment. I don't give a shit. But there's like these God sent car.
You're
groups,
braver than me. You
right?
posted it?
Fucking right. Oh, my truck's all over. Go look at my Instagram. It's like half. Of
I
it's
see
my
this guy
truck.
around. I hear this guy around.
That's right. I'm giving her the beans.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, these car groups, like their bios, like this is a safe place.
I'm too sensitive to do that. Good for you. That
You would
do
get
that,
angry.
But they always say the same thing, and you know it. Respect all builds. And they need to say, this is coffee and car culture. We all need to be friends and get along. That's what they're like, oh, this is a godsend.
Yeah, but they don't do that.
But you go to the comments, dude, holy shit. You get flamed for anything. Like anything.
I believe it.
And it's like every
What kind of stuff are they saying?
just like, man, oh, why would you do that with this? You could get more power out of this. And it's like, dude, the guy didn't ask for it. He was just posting a picture of it. Well, that's stupid. I wouldn't do, like, who gives a fuck? It's not your car. You know what I mean?
Those guys usually that comment probably don't even have a car.
Yep.
I was just about to say
Or their
that.
kids are
Yeah.
young, you know?
Yeah.
They think that they know.
And it's
they
like
don't.
half the guys
It's
who
kind
are,
of fun trolling when you're a kid.
oh,
It just gets to a point where it gets weird.
I still troll. I just do it on video games.
I
That's
get it
okay,
a
that's
lot
acceptable.
because I'm in Hyundai groups. And a lot of people hate Hyundais because now they've gotten faster and they're like, oh,
Can you
car
edit
can't-
this? Because I wouldn't want to put that out in the world there.
A Hyundai? Whatever, man. It's a good
I'm part
car.
of a car community. It's a Hyundai group.
Yo, I have to at least flaunt my car. I had a nice car.
You do. I'm just bugging you.
Now is whatever. It's family oriented, but before it was like,
But now you got the guys who are posting like, hey, like you said, I want to sell this car. And it's like, okay, I'm selling this car. I want 38 grand for it. What's that Beastie Boys song? You Don't Stop. Every time I see that shit, I just sing in my head, dude, you're bone stock. Why the fuck is everyone going to pay 38 grand for this? It's got 118,000 kilometers and it's bone stock.
But don't say anything
Because of
because
today.
if they happen to sell it for 38 grand, they're going
They're
to
gonna
put you on a
message
hit
you.
list
Fuck, I didn't even think
and
about
show
that.
them, the cat
That's
or show you the
dangerous.
cash and
that's
shit. that
never
they got.
happened to me ever again. And
You
never
should
will.
remove the laugh react from, you shouldn't be able to press it anymore.
I don't even know where it is.
You're going to get in trouble.
I don't know where it is. I would have done it. I would have went in there and be like, you know
It
what?
does happen when you're scrolling sometime, or you like go back in somebody's conversation, then you accidentally like tap on the picture,
Worst.
Or call them.
Yeah,
and then there's like a laugh.
It's 3 in the
emote on it, and
morning.
You're like,
Call them by accident 3 in the morning.
I don't pocket dial for whatever reason. That just doesn't happen to me.
It happened to you with me once.
You sure about that?
No, I'm not sure about that. But I'm.
Would you say that's not
possibly.
factual?
I don't think that's factual.
Is that factual?
I don't think it is.
I don't think that's factual
I don't
at all,
think that's
Dante.
factual.
I think you pocket dialed me actually.
I'll Google it after and I'll let you know.
yeah. Google it.
Good
Google
idea.
Hey, and don't forget, I know this is really random, but please subscribe to the freaking channel. We need the followers. We need the likes. We need the comments.
PS5, right?
While
that too.
While we're talking about this, we should do a little segment right now. The segment you were talking about. Let's do. There was a couple questions asked. So let's pull them up.
Yes. So I invite you guys to leave comments because if they're questions, if they're questions
good
that we'll
questions.
good questions. We're gonna
funny, good,
we're gonna put them
interesting.
on.
Don't ask me opinions on your fucking truck.
Right now we have so few people commenting. You probably put anything on, you might get it on.
You know what? At this point,
as long as it's not really dumb.
We're growing.
7 of the Just Talk to Me Bro podcast today.
Oh, cool.
That went through the Bluetooth. That's okay. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
that's pretty cool. I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah, because this is connected to the Bluetooth.
Right,
He's just flexing. He did that on purpose.
Yeah, he's like, oops.
It's like I walked in. He's like, oh, yeah, I've got all these monitors. I'm like, they 32s? He's like, yeah, I needed them. Like, dude, you didn't fucking need them. And then he just starts laughing. That's all he did.
Yeah, well.
Oh, they're pretty
doesn't-
sweet.
Yeah, see, look at the cheese smile on him. He's
Doesn't
just
make it.
flexing on us.
Okay, where are the questions?
Oh, I got the question. in my head.
Okay. Sorry. I was getting a little
What is
anxious.
something? This was a question that was asked on our TikTok, because I put out a video asking people to leave a.
Are we asking Marcotte first?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot?
No. I just said, are we?
Okay,
You
I'm
don't
good.
have to.
The question was, what would be something valuable that if it were to fall in a porta potty, you would go and get it?
So before I answer that, I need people to know what I do for a living, okay? I build shit trucks, okay? All the sewage trucks.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
When's the
so
clean
I get
shit?
trucks.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I get trucks in sometimes for repairs, and they're used, and they're like, yo, we washed out the tank.
But you didn't.
Go in there and weld it, and then you open the door, and there's tampons on the roof, and you're like, oh my God.
That's gross, dude.
Yeah, it's gross until you take a torch to it, then it gets really gross.
Oh,
and then
dude,
you
it'll
start
stink.
welding it, and it gets really bad.
All right, let's.
I'm laughing extra hard because
So-
Dante has like these like little like germ phobias. Like I can
Oh,
see his
yeah.
skin crawling from here.
Yeah, he's gonna take a shower after this.
help.
But so I don't know if it'd be as bad for me because I'm surrounded with stuff like that all the time. It's for you too. But there's only two things in this world that I would jump in there for. One would be this ring that my grandfather gave me. Well, I took from him. He was gonna pawn it. He was gonna pawn
That story
it.
went from sentimental to
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
gonna pawn it, but
And
I
there's
took
that
it from
baby
him.
over there. Fuck
Yeah, fuck
yeah.
you. But then he's like, you took that ring? That's where that went? It's like, yeah. He's like, I'm glad that you took that. I should never have wanted to pawn that because it was from a company that he founded, and there was only 8 of these made. So he's like, you know what? I'm actually glad you took it.
sentimental value.
Yeah, then that's why I took it. And this necklace, something my mom gave me. It's not even real. It's surgical steel. It's not sterling silver. It's not.
And
It
then-
doesn't matter what it's made.
So
of.
those are
It's
the two things you
memories
would,
attached.
and then everything else that went down there, you're not going for.
no, only these two things. That's it.
What about you have a wad of cash, 5 Gs?
Don't give a shit.
Really?
I can make more.
How much cash? What would be the line that of cash that you would say, okay, I'm not touching that, and if it was this amount, that you would go for? Okay, let's say a check because
Okay, if I could
Cash is
sit
kinda-
down and mathematically figure out how much money it would take for me to move to Honduras for the rest of my life and comfortably drink beer on the beach, that amount of money.
so about like $30,
yeah, maybe, maybe,
maybe 35.
maybe. But
So-
no, those are the only two things.
Really? Okay.
And I've never taken this necklace off since my mom gave it to me.
You said check. If it was a check, I would just leave it.
Wouldn't
there.
the check be
Oh,
void?
Because
right.
I'd cancel
okay.
that so fast.
Wouldn't the check be void now that it's covered?
Okay,
in
but say the
poopy
guy
juice?
wrote it to
Probably.
you. Say this guy wrote you a check and then he died, and then you just had this check. It was the
Is it
only,
$1 million check?
Well, I'm saying, what is the amount that you would say I'm not going for that?
It'd have to be like
you would go in there for, like, how deep is a porta potty?
pretty deep.
They're pretty deep.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're pretty
like
deep.
knee deep.
It depends if it's the ones that are just put up at like a festival for
Right.
the weekend. Those aren't that bad, but like a campground or something.
Yeah,
those-
where there's a hole in the
Oh,
ground.
yeah.
Okay, that's
Oh,
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy should specify what the question is.
That is
because that's a
true.
big difference.
It was actually a woman.
Oh,
So
I shouldn't
let's,
have. I shouldn't have assumed that. Sorry about that.
protect the
If I knew your name,
pronouns,
I'd
okay?
apologize to you directly.
they left the comment. Be careful, dude.
So,
2022.
What would I go down there for? I don't know.
Okay, so
what's-
he got me, dude, because that's what I was gonna say. My ring, dude. That's literally what I would go in there for. It's just silver. It's nothing.
Yeah. For me, like,
but it's sentimental.
meaningless.
yeah.
To a
Money
price
comes and goes.
Yeah, it doesn't have a cost.
And my answer would be,
His ring, because he loves his wife, right?
I don't have a ring. I'm not legally married.
You were trying to
But,
get him
Your
brownie
wife better
points
be
there,
watching
weren't you?
this right now.
Nah, she wouldn't care.
Jay,
Okay, what's
what did you do? Why you don't love me?
next question?
Well, okay. The other one was what is the scariest moment in your life?
That's easy. I'll go first. I could tell this story 10 to 15 minutes long or 10 to 15 seconds long.
Keep it short.
I'm going to go 10 to 15 seconds. We rented a boat, a sailboat in the Mediterranean. We didn't have a captain. My buddy got his sailing license in Halifax the day before we flew to Greece. We rented it in Athens. We sailed the Mediterranean islands, and I shit you not, I could show you on a map where Poseidon's Temple is. On the way back, we got caught in the craziest storm that I've like now when I watch like ocean videos and
You're
it puts you on. I mean, I can understand it on like a crazy level. Plus, I get seasick. So just being sick, and it was in the middle of the night. Like the storm ripped up our anchor and almost brought us into shore on this like deserted island. And we were running low on fuel, and these waves were like. We had to go this way, but you can't go broadside into the waves. So my buddy and I just like stood up there all night. It was like from 2 to 5 a.m. It was like 3 hours. And this boat was Oceanus 351, 35-foot yacht / sailboat.
Yacht, eh?
And my wife and his wife were downstairs crying. Like literally, we just told them you have to leave because like crying is doing nothing. So they went down there and just like cried. And he went into the waves, just boom. They were like a rhythmic. He was like boom, boom, boom. He hit the 5th wave and it came over. We are where the helm is at the back. The wave is so big, we would get like hammered. Like this thing would go boom and the wave would go over. Then he could, because we had to go this way. So then he'd crank it this way for like 5 seconds, crank it back. And we did this for 3 hours straight. And every wave that hit the boat, because I didn't grow up sailing, I believe that every wave was going to break the boat in half. Like it just felt like that.
Yeah.
And even though you had 100 before, that 101st felt like it was going to break. When we finally got to safety, man, it was like the whole downstairs was trash. Like every plate was broke. All the fruits and vegetables were out. All our luggage. The windows that are like watertight had like water slammed in them so hard. They were like all the port windows were leaking and stuff.
Christ.
It was crazy, man. So that's my story.
That sounds like that scene from Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you seen that movie?
Yeah. Again, I'm so bad with movie
remember
references.
pieces of it, though.
Then they got to go back to get the money from her aunt that dies. He's like, we got to go here. So they get on the yacht. And the captain's like, there's going to be like some ways we shouldn't do it. There's Chop. And his wife's like, Chop's bad. And then who else is in it?
Chop's bad.
Jonah Hill's like, you don't know shit about Chop. Right? But then they start going, and then, this yacht goes down and all this crazy shit. Like, that's scary
My
shit.
buddy looked at me because he had his license or whatever. Before this happened, because we just had this beautiful like sailing trip in the Mediterranean before. We both he's a scuba diver in the Navy, in the Canadian Navy. So we were both divers. We had diving gear. We went like spear fishing, all this kind of stuff. He never told me where like a life jacket was or what emergency procedure.
Nothing.
He looked at me because I didn't know how bad it was.
Yeah.
He looked at me and he said, okay, I'm going to tell you 2 things. The life jackets are right there. And when I tell you to call him Mayday, I'm going to stay at the helm. You go downstairs and you have to say the name. You have to say Mayday 3 times and then the name of the boat. That's why I remembered Oceanus 351.
Right.
So I had to go Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. This is Oceanus 351 and we're in distress. So I was like, oh shit. So I like ran downstairs. I had a knife, like a diving knife. And the escape boat is like on top of the yacht upside down. Like this, and it was like tied down with rope. So I grabbed my knife because I was like, if this thing goes down, then like I'm gonna have to cut the life raft free and like get it in the water and like flip it over, right? And then plus the outboard's like over here. We're in the middle of nowhere. Like you can't even see the lights on shore. Like we're miles and miles out. So anyway, it was bad. And then on top of that, the seasickness and all that. But we got out of it. But that was the only time I really believed that I was
anxiety.
going to die. So that would definitely be my scariest moment, 100%.
That puts my story to shame.
Sorry.
That puts my story to shame.
That one was easy for me. I don't even have to think about that.
Scariest moment of my life, listening to that story.
Yeah. That was my Cole's Notes version, too. I have the 20-minute version, but
I'll have to ask you later.
Yeah, I'll tell you about it later.
Out of that. It literally sounds like a movie.
One whole episode.
But you know what? What's weird is like if you were a sailor, you probably would like those waves were probably they probably weren't a big deal. I try to remember it. I actually had my GoPro and it had died the day before, and I was thinking the back of my head like I should get my GoPro, but it was dead. Right? I had like 2 batteries, and it was in the like front bedroom downstairs, and I would like to rewatch it and see how bad it was. I do remember in the valley of the waves that because you don't really know where the wave level is because there's no land reference, right? It's like are the waves
right.
Are the waves 10
and it's
feet
only
high?
35 feet, right? This boat. So
the boat's 35 feet, which is like pretty big, yeah. And then like you're sitting up pretty high, but then the wave this tall, but then you have the valley of the wave. So like when you're down in the valley, then the top of the wave is here. So really the height of the wave is the difference between the valley and the peak.
Right.
Right. So the waves might have been, 10-foot waves, but then they could differ it could have been 20 feet by the time from the valley to the peak. All I know is when we were down, it was like water all the way around. Like it was like you were down in a wave and like there was water above you.
So like Poseidon is bringing up the water around you.
Well, we knew
That's
it was
cool.
Poseidon's Temple because we were like, ha ha ha. We're like on the way there because it was all nice weather. We sailed the first day and then we anchored in this little bay. And we saw this like weird kind of like temple thing. And we're like having a glass of wine and we're like, ha ha ha, like it's Poseidon's Temple. And then somebody was like, it was just four of us. It was my wife, my buddy.
No, that is.
And he's like, well, we're literally in Greece. Like that could actually be Poseidon's Temple. And we literally Googled it because we were close enough to shore then. And it was literally Poseidon's Temple.
Jeez,
shit.
man.
So you can Google it and like find out. It's on a pier. And we were
Someone's
like
listening, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, you laughing?"
Yeah.
Go to
It
bed.
was scary. But if you're accustomed to that, it wouldn't be scary. But for me, man, and I don't puke either. I puke the whole time, seasick.
I would
I
too,
get
dude.
seasick too.
I'd be one of the
big
wives
time.
downstairs crying, dude.
Dante, go downstairs and cry like a little bitch.
Dante's downstairs going, "There's Chop," and Jay saying, "You don't know shit about Chop."
This guy with babies and
Yeah.
If there was a baby on that boat, I was flipping it off 100%.
100%.
What's
luck.
your,
Good.
your story?
My story of the most afraid I've ever been, Colombia, because Omar, he was on an episode with us, decided to take drugs from strangers, and the strangers kept saying, "Hey, it's free. Have a party with us. We're gonna go to like it was also
Burundanga.
Cartagena, which is all water.
Oh, by the way, me gusta.
Me gusta.
Gusta.
I gotta go in there and correct that. So
I'm gonna get flamed in the
Colombia,
comments.
Cartagena is all like water. It's like you go on boats and stuff. So there's a bunch of boats, and this black dude or whatever, brown dude, whatever you want to call, comes and puts drugs in his hands and said it's free, and then we'll have a party, whatever. And he's like, "No, I don't want to take it." My wife's like, "Don't take it, don't take it." And then I'm like, "Don't take it, just leave." And he's like, he's dumb, and he puts it in his pocket. So the guy goes away. Omar starts to walk away. And then we all start to walk away. And then my wife just grabs it, opens up the drugs, and then throws it out right in the street. All of a sudden, like 5 guys just circle in, and they all come towards us. When are you going to pay for that? Because like you have to pay for that, right? Are you going to pay for that now? And then we were like, how much do you want for that? And they were like, oh, it's going to be like 500,000 pesos. This is like
How much is that?
5,000 pesos. 500,000 is like maybe 200 bucks. Let's say.
It's so funny that you say this. I was talking to my little sister who's 9 on the phone the other day, and I was just explaining to her the little scams that happen. I was giving her scenarios in Italy. I think everywhere you go, it's something that they give you a flower, and I just said,
yeah, and then
just
they make
don't accept
take nothing.
anything from anybody. In prison, if somebody puts a chocolate bar underneath your pillow,
You're screwed.
do not eat that. Do not eat that chocolate bar.
Doing push-ups,
Yeah.
drinking milk.
You'll have to pay it later, and that's what happened
So
with us.
that was the scam. So they gave you drugs.
So they expected
Interesting.
him to pay up,
Right.
and that was at least $5,000 pesos worth, not even $1, $2 worth. So we're like, we're not gonna pay you. We're not gonna pay you. Ended up that he's starting to show something here, and I'm like, dude, this guy's got a gun. The person that had the most balls out of all of us was
Your
my wife.
I knew it.
Right in the guy's face. You're a scammer, piece of shit, this and that. I'm like, calm down, please. We're going to die. I'm looking at the best way to call attention to the police is in the middle of the road, right? A cab comes. We get in. He's going to get in the cab with us, the dude. And his other friends are blocking the cab. And the cab's like, I'm calling the cops. And then the dude's like, yeah, whatever, man. And then he leaves. I think I shit myself that day.
Man, that's terrifying.
Because the minute you see a piece,
Oh yeah.
in a third world country
you're like,
or
I
second world, whatever.
sort
it
of
is.
see something here, and I don't want to find out. And that's where his hands are, right?
No, I don't like that at all.
That's the only time, and I just want to put this as the record of anybody listening, thinking about going to Colombia. This is the only time something's ever bad happened to me is that one time out of like, I think 10 times that I've been there. It's incredibly safe. I think it's safer than where I live. But that specific moment, and specific time.
I don't want to argue with you, but I don't think you believe that 100%.
Yes.
Because I asked you why you have an e-commerce business, then you could live there and you could live like a king there. So why don't
that's
you live
the
there?
thing, because you don't want to. It's also a third world country. There's like we have hot water every day. They don't have hot water. You have to
Right.
buy a little thing that connects. and you have to like do bootleg
Yeah,
wiring.
but you
to
have
get
a
the
tool
hot
set
water.
now, so you could do that.
I literally bought a tool set because the guy that asked that question is the one that told me to buy it. Thank you, Nick. Appreciate it. But yeah,
That's part of adulting. You need a toolkit. You need like a ratchet set. You need like at least an off-brand ratchet driver and drill.
Yeah.
You need that. You need like a bit set, drill bits.
Yeah, I don't
Even
buy
if you're
off-brand.
not in the trades, you need this because
Here I am going back to movies again. Have you seen Daddy's Home? Will
Daddy's
Ferrell?
home. Yeah, I think so.
I'm glad you're as bad with movie references
Well,
as
then he
me,
goes-
because usually I'm the only one that goes, no, I don't know.
Well, he comes back and he's like, he's trying to impress the wife, get his wife back.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Will Ferrell's now dating her. Okay, well, we're going to get the tools and fix the drywall. And he asks the kid, well, where does Brad keep the tools? Well, he keeps them in the credenza. Oh, you keep your tools in the credenza. And he comes out with a little tackle box, and it's got
Yeah. I
yeah,
did
it's
see
like
that.
flathead screwdriver and a tampon. It's like, you don't want to be that dude. Even if you don't know how to use tools, you better have tools.
And especially, okay, so in that movie, is he the new guy?
Will Ferrell is the new dad.
And that was his toolkit.
yeah. And then
So right, and
Mark
wait,
Wahlberg.
right? He has the motorbike.
Yeah.
And he's coming back to try
There's
to
two
impress
of that
her.
movie. There's two.
There is
That's
two.
true. That's why you need to learn how to do these like things, because
what-
you don't want to be
Brad.
the guy.
You don't want to be
No.
Brad.
Nick said
You
that
don't.
to me. He's like, dude, you're gonna start doing things on your car. You may as well just buy the kit and do it yourself.
That's really good
At least
advice.
try, because the minute that you're afraid and you don't want to do it, it's gonna cost you money and you're not gonna learn anything.
The only reason I am where I am in my life is because I used YouTube basically to do
That's what he said,
90% of stuff. There are certain things, like you start to know your strong suits, and there's certain things that I sub out that I can't
Yeah.
do, but I'll pretty much try anything.
How to run a bar?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Man, I used to just DJ in a bar, and I just would see the bartenders at the end of the night just counting like stacks of cash. I'm like, oh, this looks like a really good business.
Yeah,
I didn't know anything about it because I was just DJing.
you're like DJ at my bar, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that, and then I just go and I learn everything there, and it
but
was
that
like
is
the greatest time ever.
I paid that forward because that's exactly what happened to me. I just I didn't know anything about DJing, and I was the beach boy at this like resort thing in my hometown, and I knew the owner, and I was drunk one night, and she was in her bar, and I was like, hey, Irene, like hypothetically, if I had DJ stuff, which I don't, and if I had speakers, which I don't, and if I knew how to DJ, which I don't, would you hire me all summer long to DJ here because your jukebox is shit? She's like, come and talk to me tomorrow. And I did, and then
That's what you did with me, actually.
basically, yeah.
I was like, if I didn't,
The
if
rest
I
is
did.
history.
And Jay's thinking, man, this kid might possibly be chewing
You know what my
rocks,
first board was?
but I'm going to give him a shot.
My
He's
first board
techie,
was
right. So like
He is.
you need to know a little bit about audio,
Something,
volume levels, master.
You're like the Elon Musk of our town.
No,
You're up there.
I can't make electrical cars. I don't have Asperger's.
I got a DJ story for you guys. You want to hear it?
Let's
what's
hear it.
Okay, we're getting on time, so I'm going to make it quick. I used to, across the road from my second DJ gig, it was this place. It was a country club. And I don't really like country. I don't mind it.
I don't like it either.
It's
Yeah,
growing
I'll
on
just
me.
say it. You can hate me, guys. Whatever.
Yeah, no,
There's
not a
some
fan.
country I don't mind. I because I played so much of it, I came to like it, but I wasn't passionate about it. Like I like more dancey type stuff, right? Because
Yeah,
I want people
EDM.
dancing. Yeah, top 40. I like some top 40 mixed, whatever.
Destiny's Child.
So at this club, what?
Destiny's Child. All I could think was, say my name, say my name.
When you say Destiny's Child, that's what immediately plays in your head,
Yeah,
in my
dude.
head too. Yeah,
It
it's like
took you a
automatic.
minute. I just saw the wheels start spinning. Like,
Well, because I was trying to set up the story, and I'm like, I was more in my own head, but you're in my
I
head
just
too.
threw Destiny's Child in that
love
in
it.
the mix.
I actually, on St. Patty's Day, they were playing Destiny's Child in the
Oh,
bar.
no. I saw the pics. I was like, wow.
The,
What a mess.
The pics were bad. They were worse. Like there, it was awesome, and then Dana's like, "Did you see the pictures? They're terrible." I'm like,
Yeah, it was probably better being there than
"Yeah."
looking at
It
the
was one of
pictures.
those days that there shouldn't have been pictures of.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I was at this country club, and oh my god, I was a VJ. I was kind of in the infancy
Video.
of like when you had video too, and they had like huge screen on the backstage. It was an old warehouse, and my DJ booth was like in the back of the club, up high, like perched.
That's cool, dude.
It was really cool, and it had a sunken-in dance floor, and then railings all around it, and then like another dance floor around it, and then a stage, and then the huge screen on the stage, and then behind the screen was like steep stairs up to my DJ booth, like perched up here, right? So usually what I would do back in those days, it was LimeWire. So I'd download my set list on LimeWire. And
hey, would you like viruses on your computer?
So you were downloading like Destiny _child _MP3.
yeah, with a couple exclamation marks and some weird like maybe
this
Russian
song ends
letters.
with an exe. I wonder if
And your computer just ran
what's
like
it installing?
shit.
Is this an MP4 or a program?
Yeah.
Like, it's like a
Installing.
It runs itself. Yeah.
And the installer just disappears. And you're like, I wonder what that was.
But there was no real there was FrostWire and LimeWire. I don't know if you guys
both
remember
give you
those.
Yeah, I
cancer.
remember.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't know a lot about country, so I would just go like dance country, and then if you can imagine, I'm DJing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 4-hour set, so 4, 8, 12 hours per week. And you don't want to play the same thing over and over.
Right.
So I'm constantly trying to update my list, and like I'm working a full-time job, whatever. So I was pretty good. I'd usually download the things, and back then internet speed was super low, so I'd have to download them, and then I have to check them for video quality. Okay, it's good, and then I'd rename it. Good version of Alan Jackson Country Boy. Boom, done. Right. Then I had virtual DJ. What I would do usually is get there, get set up, start playing the music. Then I would go down and get a beer. Usually I'd same as you. I'd have like 4 beer during. So I put it on autoplay. Now it's like midnight, right? Put the computer on autoplay. So right now it's playing the song, it's ending the song, it's loading up, it's queuing the next song, it's kind of blending them a bit together, it's blending the video together. Boom. So I'm like, I'm gonna go down and talk to the bartenders. I'm pretty social. I'm
You
gonna
put the autoplay on. Yeah.
autoplay, right?
Auto DJ, whatever it's called.
Auto DJ. So I walk down my steep stairs on the stage, go around the screen, go down in the sunken dance floor, go up here.
He flipped off a baby on the way down the stairs.
Saw a couple babies, smacked a few babies,
I would say that's factual.
kissed a
for
few
sure.
MILFs on the way over. Hey, baby, how you doing?
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, okay, but keep going.
And I
had
get
a good
over there.
memory.
I get over at the bar, so it's like the furthest possible. And I look back up at the DJ booth, at all my glory up there. Yeah, that's me up there. So what had happened? I don't know how I should tell the story, but basically what happened is, somebody had named a song because maybe their wife didn't like country, so they hit a porn.
Get out of
Because
here.
it's a file sharing network, right? So
Right.
you're just
So
getting
it's like that meme.
so
I'm already embarrassed,
so
and I know what this guy's feeling at this
so
point.
he basically like typed some Toby Keith blah 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 because his wife's not going to look at it. Hardcore pound fucking.
Oh,
Nice.
wow.
But you're in a nightclub, so it's nightclub volume, right? And it was
you got the base of it.
it was a guy railing a girl from behind
got the
on the
bass.
hood of a car, and like everybody knows that I'm the DJ, and the exit is right here. So I just want to just walk out the exit. No, I have to go into the burning building. I have to fight my way through the crowd.
You're like, and that's happened to me. But not with
And
this
go
extent.
back up in the booth and then like turn it all off and then like switch it really quick. And I'm just like sweating bullets for the next 2 hours. And I'll never forget my manager, Sammy. I don't know if he'll ever watch this, but Sammy, I was so terrified. I was like, I'm getting fired for sure. He's this Italian guy. Did I already tell this story? I hope not.
No, dude, this is amazing.
He came up and he just said, at the end of the night, he goes, Jay, I heard you had a little mishap because his office was in the basement. He's like, I heard about what
I
happened.
heard that. I heard it.
I go, Sammy, I'm so sorry, buddy. I'll never happen again. He goes, no, man. Fucking do this every week. We're a new club. They're going to be talking about us all around town. I'm
That is a good point.
So you're not mad? He's like, no, don't worry about it. So, but anyway, it was really embarrassing at the time.
That's
Dude,
fucking
that's-
hilarious.
Yeah, 100% true story.
It's literally that
I couldn't
Facebook
make it up.
meme when you're like, the guy drops the rock from 1,000 feet, like, I want to hear it when it hits the ice. And then as soon as that noise plays, you're like,
You know the worst thing?
Oh,
This
God.
guy, I think, the third or fourth night of being a DJ, the first thing that happens as soon as I get into work, maybe an hour in, this lady comes up to me. Want to see my fun bags? I didn't even get an answer. I couldn't answer her.
Wait, were they really big titties?
Hold on.
Okay.
Want to see my fun
So
bags?
I'm getting excited here, bud.
She had to do this, and that's where how low they were.
No.
And just for those that are listening to Spotify, they were low to her
so
stomach.
like Miss Chokes on Dick from South Park.
It was
They're, like, hanging out the
gross.
bottom of the shirt.
I couldn't answer. You didn't wait for me to answer, and I felt so molested, dude. I was like, autoplay, and outside I go.
What a double standard. If you just ask a girl if she wants to see your
Oh, you're canceled. You're done.
popsicle and
Oh,
you
you're
just whip it out,
you're done.
you
Gone.
might go to jail, right?
You might.
They
yeah.
might arrest you.
You might.
Yeah.
They might arrest you. I would say that's factual. I would
Scariest
say
thing ever, dude.
Maybe somebody will school us on that. Maybe if they had no criminal record prior, they might just get a slap on the wrist.
yeah. I mean, in Canada, maybe that could be a possibility.
And when I grew up, Well, no, I won't go into that. We're getting on time.
Yeah, no,
I
dude.
could go on.
Anything that starts with when I grew up, get the scroll out, grab a pillow.
There was something called papping.
Hey, grab your pillow.
And
Oh,
in
it's over there.
sports, in hockey, and to initiate you, they would hold you down, and then a guy would whip out his helmet. By helmet, I mean cock.
Yeah.
And they would hit you
got it.
on the forehead with it while other people were holding you
Wait,
down.
hold on though. Is that not gay?
100%.
Because like you're like, I got you, dude.
All the hockey stuff was really gay.
Dude,
like my
think
buddy
about
that played in the OHL, he said they on their tour bus, whatever it is, like the bus that drives them town to town, when the rookies would come in, they would like put 2 rookies in the washroom in a bus, you know, like
I've
how
heard
big it
this.
is,
I've
and they'd
heard
click
this.
the light off,
Yeah.
and they'd like throw a deck of cards, and they'd be like, "Give me the ace of spades," and you'd have to be like,
I've heard that.
yeah, it's all gay shit, man. 100%.
Dude, and it's like, yeah, I'm not gay, man. I'm gonna go home and bang my wife. Right.
But there's something, it's like they're
My
so
musky wife.
masculine that like there's this African guy on YouTube, and you can watch it, and he talks about banging a guy in an African prison, and I've never been scared watching a video, but
I'm
like
scared what you're about to say.
yeah, but he's just like I have a man, and when he is with me, he does my laundry, and he is a woman, and I fuck him in the ass. I shouldn't be saying all these swear words.
yeah. Chill
But
out,
and
chill
they're
out.
like, "Oh, okay, so you're gay?" He's like, "No, absolutely not." And the guy's like, he's like, "No. When I have sex with him, he is a woman." And like the way he says it with such conviction, it's like you would, if this guy was sitting in front of you, you wouldn't argue with him.
No shit.
Be like, you're not gay.
That's factual.
Yeah, that is factual.
That is factual.
Yep, I'm not arguing with you.
That's scary, dude.
That is scary.
It's like, you know, you gotta.
Should link that video in the description.
I'm gonna not do that.
I'll send it to you.
Next thing
He's
you know,
gonna fact
somebody
check it.
renamed the file, and then porn goes
Yep.
on my podcast. Dude.
Yeah.
Come
There you
on,
go.
man.
That's how it happens.
Jesus Christ. I've had those kind of moments that you're, you know, doing the DJing, but not like that. I've had where like
Well,
I have
the
to
more
run
you-
through people.
Right.
I've had like I look in the background and I see I'm like I'm going back to the booth and I see somebody there.
Yeah, in your
And
DJ
I go,
booth.
"Oh, what are
yeah,
you
man.
doing?"
That was a constant.
That's a
I
pet peeve
hated
of
that.
mine.
Literally,
so
if he would
much.
go outside, I would stand in the booth and be like, "Oh, there'd be all these drunk girls. Can you play my song, dude? Shut the fuck up."
Dante, you were a little bit too uptight because when I
All
used
the
to be
time.
single, well, you weren't single then. That's probably why
No.
you didn't care. But if I came back and there'd be hot girls in my DJ booth, I'd be like, all right.
No, I'd always say get out of here, dude. Get
Yeah.
out. Get out.
Play Rihanna.
All this
play
equipment.
Rihanna.
And they would
I
start
love
moving
her.
knobs
Yeah,
and
oh, yeah.
things like they own
I
the
know.
place.
I know.
and
I hate it.
I got
had
to a
an-
point where I put a
Or then they're resting drinks up on top, and then we're like, "Yo,
yeah.
chill." man.
or climbing up like
Yeah.
monkeys, dude.
I had another night at, this is not a long story. I had another night at the other club across the street. And I would always drink a pint while I was working. And I had the VCI 300 by Serato DJ, I think it was. At the time, it was like $1,200. It was the first like electrical. It kind of looked like your board there,
Yeah.
like our boards that we have now. But it was like the first one. It was super expensive because you can buy them now for like $300-400.
Yeah.
And I just remember I was like going from one board to the other, and it was like slow motion. As I was moving my hands over, my pinky caught in the rim of the glass and it spilled on my board. And then like imagine all the liquid just like going in these, like going in those holes. I was watching it, and
Yeah,
I was on this deck, and I started to see the lights like systematically flicker. So I was like, oh shit, I ended this song and I crossfade over, and I'm like trying to blow it out and get all this shit out.
And it
And
doesn't.
again, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, whole dance floor. And that DJ booth was different. It was a glass DJ booth in the middle of the dance floor.
Right,
So I
right.
had people just surrounding me. And then I didn't have, I was complacent. I didn't have my backup audio. Usually I had my
Right.
phone with a headphone jack on backup. And it just went, just like fried the whole thing. And it was just like silent. And in
Well, you
that
hear all
moment,
the people going, "What the hell?"
in that moment, somebody could have done, you know, at the end of the night, a lot of times they would sing Ole to get like Ole or Encore or whatever.
Nobody
But
helped you.
That night, one guy just said, or I was a girl actually, you fucked up. And the whole bar
always that
in
guy.
unison, as loud as when I was playing, it was like, you
Oh, yeah.
fucked up.
That was the
You
classic.
fucked up. It was like a nightmare, like a real life nightmare, man. I
Jay
just like
became the baby,
I
and
just, like,
everyone was flipping him off.
I slinked
dude,
down
for
like
sure.
this in the
Bunch of
DJ booth.
babies in the background, just like.
That's terrible.
Oh my God, dude.
This was actually, you know what? This is a really good episode. Your joke, man, I'm still thinking about it. This is one of those things where you're like walking around and also you remember and you start laughing. That's literally what it was, man.
It's going to be one of those things I'm going to laugh at by myself later.
Yeah.
Oh,
'Cause
100%.
I was so on a different wavelength when he was telling that story. He blindsided me so hard with it.
Blindsided, dude.
Yeah, I loved it.
100%, man.
Hey, I'm just happy
Episode
to be here.
007,
thanks for
coming, buddy.
James Bond over here. Marcotte, we hope to have you back soon, man. That was
For
really
sure.
good.
Any
Yeah, come
chance
back
I
soon,
get,
buddy.
I will be here.
It's a good vibe, good connection. Make sure you please subscribe. Don't make me get on my knees and do that.
There's
Come
a
on, man.
PS5 on the line here.
There's a PS5 on the line. It's still there. We're like 466 subscribers.
That's
at this
pretty
point
good.
on YouTube. I'm not really concerned about Spotify and all the other.
We should do a
places.
live stream when you give it away.
But like, here's the thing: PS5s are hard to get.
Yeah, they are.
So all you have to do is subscribe to get one. You're chewing rocks.
You're chewing rocks if you don't get.
Your
you just-
diet
It takes
consists
2
of rocks.
seconds.
Even if you just want to subscribe for a bit until we hit, and if you don't win, you just unsubscribe.
don't listen to him because he's a bad person.
Oh, whatever. If they don't like it, then I'm
Just
unsubscribe.
tune in. Episodes are good. We got good juicy content. And if you ask us questions, we might put it on. I'm just saying, don't ask me how your mom's
Good
doing because I won't know,
questions.
right?
Yeah, that is true.
All right, guys. I hope you join us on the next episode. It was great to have you guys here.
Thank
And,
you, brother.
We're going to be signing out. Peace out, guys. I appreciate it.
We'll see you next time on the Just Talk to Me Bro podcast.